All right, hello. It is that Will guy again, and I thought I'd record a little bit on my way to work. I haven't done a motovlog commute in quite a while, so I figured I'd bring you along here for the back half. I've already done about half the trip so far, but I thought I'd say, hey, what's up? Today's supposed to be like the first hot day of the year, really, and hot's in big parentheses. Be about 90 today, which, uh, it is what it is, man. It's gonna drop back down next week, but I'm gonna be in Tokyo. It's gonna be like in the 50s there. So what the fuck? Using the right turn signal to turn left? I thought that's BMW behavior. So I just finished editing yesterday my my video where I took the old Triumph off road to Horseshoe Dam, and God, that was fun. That was fun to do, fun to edit. I still want an adventure bike, man. I do think I have been bit by the bug. That was so much fun. Like, it's just so weird. It's so weird because you're like missing out on like this thing and you don't know you are until you know you are. Then you're like, damn, I want to do that again. I'm glad that I found it at 30 though, because I know there's a lot of people who older than me, older generation. But I mean, certainly wasn't as prevalent as it is now. But it's like dirt bikes and that's it. And I don't know. And I'm moving back to Ohio, which is gonna suck. But uh, you guys know how there's like BDRs, back road discovery routes or something. I don't actually know what it stands for, but you know what I mean. Well, most of those are out here. They're out here in the West because that's where all the public land is. Although who knows, that might not exist for much longer. Uh, insert sound clip of drill baby drill. Uh, anyway, most of the BDRs are out here because that's where the public land is. That's where the Bureau of Land Management land is, and lots of fire roads and stuff where you can make something like a BDR. Whereas the Midwest, it's pretty much all private property. It's all private land because it's all farmland. It's all for agriculture. But I got recommended this video a while back, and I didn't watch it, so I apologize to the guys that made it. But they basically did the same thing in Ohio, where they basically made a BDR in Ohio, which is super interesting. It like starts in like by Cincinnati area, so like the south west corner, and then goes like all the way up to like Cleveland, which I used to live around there, those parts for a little bit. So I know the roads are beautiful. I didn't know there was like off-road sections there, but makes it kind of a possibility. I still have an option, perhaps. Oh, guys, what a wild world we live in. I never really bought the whole simulation theory. I'm starting to believe it because there's no way that other way that this shit would happen. Is if it wasn't all fake. Our overlord who controls our sim game, like The Sims, they're just going wacky and wild at this point. They must be kind of bored, so they're just like, let's hit all the really weird options and do the weird shit. Like, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it was like, yep, Godzilla came out, Cthulhu came out of the ocean, the aliens are controlling our our president via anal probe or something. You constantly think, how much dumber can this get? We really are speed running the fucking end of this country. It's so fucking wild. And then we gotta go to work and pretend like there's nothing going on. Oh, it's so weird. There's a good chance this will all get cut out. I'm listening to Rage Against the Machine, Bulls on Parade. If you ever know what that song is, you should look it up. That was like an old fire truck. That's cool. So how are you guys doing? I just talk about me and ramble on and on and on and blah blah blah. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are maintaining your sanity through this, through these times. It's tough. It's tough. I don't think it's going to be forever. We got to stay tough, hold true, vote blue. What a saying. Oh man, I just came up with somebody's slogan. Look at that Honda Element. Sheesh. They don't make them like that no more. That's the peak of mid-2000s design. Oh my god, it's Camelback. So there's something that I haven't talked about for on here at all. As I'm kind of out of things to talk about, but I want to keep the video going, I figured I'd bring it up. So, do you guys have a voice in your head that, like, talks? Like, it's called an internal monologue. Do you guys have that? You guys have one of those? Well, I don't have one of those. And apparently that's not very common to not have an internal monologue. So, like, you know, you have, like, a voice that, like, talks to you throughout the day and, like, I don't know. And I'm sure it does, like, other things, but, like, that's the main thing. I say, like, I don't know because I don't have that. So, like, I don't have, like, internal thoughts. I think that's why I like motovlogging, because I don't have an internal monologue, and I have to process things, like, my thoughts verbally a lot of the time. Like, I never take sex truck off-road ever. Our Subaru has gone more places off-road than that Raptor has. Anyway, yeah, so I don't have an internal monologue. It seems like most people do, but it's a really interesting, like, little fun fact, because it tends to blow people's mind, because I think most people do. When I've looked into it, I think it's like a 70-30 split. Like 70% of people do on average, 30% of people don't. I'm sure that could be wrong. But yeah, I do not. And it's really funny to talk about it to people who do, because they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, I don't have an internal monologue. I don't think thoughts the way you think thoughts. Isn't that crazy? The brain is so wild. So for those of you that do have an internal monologue, I hear you saying, well, then if you don't think thoughts with a voice in your head, how do you think thoughts? Nothing's cool. Well, like I said, verbally is a big one. I have to process things verbally. But if it's like not a point where I can process things verbally, the only way I can describe it is my brain just makes connections. It just makes leaps, figures things out without me having to think directly about them. Like, it's not like I'm not thinking all the time. It's just that I'm thinking differently. Oh, look at those ducks. So I don't know. I think that's probably it's really hard to explain, which is another thing with this. So it's really hard to explain myself at times, a lot of times, because I don't think in thoughts. I don't think in words. I don't think in words. That's the way to describe it. I think in thoughts and feelings, and like jumps and conclusions are made that like make sense to me in my brain, and then I figure shit out. But it's not done through a verbal component in my mind. So it's hard to explain verbally jumps and conclusions and things that are made with words when it wasn't done in my brain with words. Isn't that kind of fucking brain bendy, bro? It's really hard to explain when I try to explain it. But yeah, so which one are you guys? Do you have an internal monologue? Or do you not have an internal monologue? I'm interested to see if anybody else who watches this has one like me or not. Aw. So I think I'm going to go ahead, end it for this half. I may record on the way back. That's kind of what I wanted to do, kind of split it up a little bit. Trying to streamline to make my editing go faster a little bit, but also give me enough content to make like at least a 12 to 15 minute video on the short end. So I'll see you guys after work potentially, and if not, hey, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll see you later.